What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode. Today was pull day. We're going to jump right into these questions. So my first exercise today was lat pull downs. I did 3 sets here. I warmed up. So the question is, did you adjust your grip with width or angle on lat pull downs today? How did that affect your ability to isolate your lats versus your arms? That's a great question. So lately I've been doing lat pull downs with the neutral grip attachment. You know, it's a little tighter. For me, it makes me feel more of a stretch when I do it this way. Getting that full stretch position, it really opens up your lats, and it makes it a lot easier to make that mind muscle connection when you're pulling the weight down and pulling it with your back and not your arms. So it does take a little bit of practice, but once you get that down, you're able to hit your lats really, really good. So that is definitely the way I'm doing lat pull downs now. So I did 3 sets there, then I did 3 sets of cable pullovers. Question number 2. During cable pullovers, did you feel a deep stretch at the top of the movement? How did you control the weight to keep constant tension on your lats? I love these questions, man. It really gets me thinking, and it really gets me to understand what I'm trying to do, you know. So with the cable pullovers, I like to, obviously you want to get in that full stretch position, just like you do when you're in lat pull downs. It opens up your lats, and when you're in that stretch position, that's a lot easier to make that mind muscle connection. And you pull the weight in when you're using the rope attachment, which I was in this one. You pull the weight in and you pull it out to your sides, and you want to pull the weight with your back and not just your arms. That's why the mind muscle connection thing is so important, and it's something I aim to do every time I do that exercise, and I definitely felt it today. So you want to find a weight you can work with that's not too heavy, but heavy enough that you're pushing yourself. You know, it's okay to break form a little bit every once in a while, but you want to try to maintain it as best you can. But that's what I'm doing with cable pullovers right now. So again, I did 3 sets of that one. After that, it was time to move on to biceps. I warmed up, and the first exercise I did was cable curls. I did 3 sets here too after I had warmed up. So the question regarding cable curls is, what tempo did you use for cable curls, and did you notice any difference in the pump compared to free weight curls? So one thing I do love about doing cable curls is that there's constant tension because the weight is moving up and down with the cable, and even at the resting position, if you don't go all the way down, like the weights on the cable stack don't hit the other weights, so that tension is still on your biceps. So, and the tempo, I mean, I try to do 2 second positive, 2 second negative, you know, within that reason. And once I start getting really fatigued towards the end, to push myself beyond failure, sometimes I'll kind of swing the weight a little bit, but in a controlled fashion. That's me talking as far as, you know, form is important, and it's okay to break form a little bit as long as you're not hurting yourself, especially towards the end of an exercise. Just get out a couple more reps. So there's mechanical failure, and then there's failure. So, and by the end of that, my biceps were pumped pretty good, but of course I'm not just going to do one exercise. I like to do at least 2, sometimes 3, sometimes even 4. Sometimes I get pretty crazy. But I did 3 sets of that one. And then the next exercise I chose was alternating dumbbell curls. I did 3 sets of this one, and the question regarding dumbbell curls is, how did you approach your dumbbell curls today? Alternating or simultaneous reps, and what made you choose that style? I like to do it both ways. Sometimes I'll be sitting down on the bench and do lightweight and slow squeezing. Today I did a mixture of both. First set, I wanted to do alternating. And I don't know, there's something really cool about standing in front of a mirror and doing alternating dumbbell curls. I like the set to last a little longer sometimes because I really like watching myself in the mirror, pushing myself. So, I mean, that's really one of the only reasons I do the alternating style. So I did 2 sets alternating, and then I lowered the weight on my last one, and I did them both at the same time. So just mixing it up just makes it more fun to me. And that was the end of my biceps. Biceps were on fire. They felt pretty pumped. Definitely saw the bicep vein popping out when I was doing the curls. Always love to see that. And then the final exercise of pull day was rear delt cable flies for my rear delts. I ended up just doing 3 sets here. Sometimes I'll do 5 sets. I just go by feel. After 3 sets of that one, I was done. So the question regarding rear delt cable flies: what mind muscle cues help you really activate your rear delts during cable flies? And did you struggle with any traps or upper back taking over? So doing rear delt cable flies, it can definitely be a challenging exercise if you really, really want to hit your rear delts. But I will say I've done it enough that I kind of get the gist. Keep your elbow bent throughout the movement, and you got to have the cable at the right height, and you'll feel it once you practice it a lot. And it might take quite a few rotations, throughout a few weeks to really start to get the form down. But you can really feel it up there at the top of your shoulder if you're doing it right. You want to keep it slow and not fully stretch, like in a decent tempo. I think helps, because when I go too slow, it feels like I start compensating with other muscles. So slow, get the cable right, just practice really. And then I did my pose down, and that was it for my pull day. So it felt really good. Still working on that diet. I really want to get cut before I do a bulk. It seems like it's been a while that I've been hovering around this weight, and there's really no excuses about it. It's just me not being disciplined enough. But I appreciate you guys joining me. Don't let that dreamer die. Keep the grind alive. And as always, never ever give up on yourself. I'll see you guys tomorrow for leg day. Have a good one.